Where is the limit between the kindness, your responsibility before the team, and also your responsibility before you and the loyal customers?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So, do you know the difference between a happy employee and an engaged employee? So, a happy employee can be happy because you're letting them do nothing, not do their jobs. You keep paying them, and hey, I'm happy. You could just screw off with this boss and do nothing. An engaged employee is involved. They're focused. They want to do a great job. And those are the people that even if they make a mistake, you're loving them. You're saying, hey, let's move on. Let's fix this, because they really are engaged in doing the right thing. It's like my employee, my manager, who I should have terminated or replaced a long time ago in that role. I loved him and he was engaged, but he wasn't focused on the right thing. You have to be able to say no with love. You know, I love you, but this isn't helping you excel in your life. We need to get you in a place where you could really kick butt and take good care of your family. Kindness comes in little, tiny pieces. So it's getting to know your employees, getting to know your customers. I use a card and gift system where I just send little thank you cards, welcome cards to my employees and to my customers. In fact, when I left my last company, my region happened to have the largest company in their whole organization, revenue size. When I left, the client called my boss and he said, you know, I think Irma's the nicest person I've ever met. Now let me tell you something. That wasn't hard to do. Here's what I did. Every time I talked to him, I, of course, asked a couple things. I found out his wife had cancer. So then when I talked to him, the first thing I would ask about is, how's your wife? You think about them, the personal things. One day I called him and we were going to have lunch, and I said, how's your wife today? And he said, you know, she's having a good day. I said, go pick her up. Let's take her out to lunch. We took her out to lunch. So I bought them lunch. I got to know her. I got to know when their anniversary was. I got to know all kind of personal things. So I'd send them cards, and they ended up inviting me to all these events they had and little things. An employee, one of my employees in Tampa, he was a new employee, and when I would go to visit the client, I would always stop and see the employee. So this was a new employee, and I like to know, so what do you like to do other than, I know you love your job, you know, joking around, but what else do you love? And he said, oh, I got this puppy. So I said, show me a picture. So he showed me a million pictures on his phone. And the next time I went there, I asked my manager if he'd be working, and he said he would. So I bought him this little $5 toy. We went in there. I said, how's that puppy doing? He said, he's doing great. So I said, here, I brought him a little gift. My branch manager called me one day and said, every time I see this guy, he just loves you. Think about that. It was a $5 or $10 little gift. People like to know they're being thought about. So that's how creating loyalty, making the decision that this person is important to my customers, or this customer is important to my company, but I actually want to like them, and doing those little things that give them experiences that make them want to stay.